What's up, guys? My name is Zach Black. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be going into the second episode finally of Weekly Wellness Wednesdays. Guys, it has been so long. It's probably the only weekly show you're ever going to watch that's only uploaded twice a year. I'm just playing. I'm going to be getting that together too, guys. I'm pretty sorry that I haven't been uploading, but at the same time, it's for good reason. I've been going through a lot of changes, and I have gained a lot of knowledge which I plan to share with you guys through both this channel and this weekly show thing. And you guys might even notice that I have like a totally different background, different lighting. I'm using this mic. I don't even know if it's in frame. It probably is, but all of this stuff has been available to me the whole time. And that's why I wanted to make this episode about fear, because the only reason I haven't been using this is basically because of fear. And it kind of it really makes me realize like how much I used to let fear run my life. And I made a decision quite a few months ago that I wasn't going to have that anymore. So I kind of have a 4-step process for you guys today. And right now I want to discuss what fear is, how it's preventing you and stuff like that, as well as my little 4-step process of eliminating fear. That way it doesn't prevent you from doing things you want to do. So let's get things started with what is fear and where does it come from? So basically fear is something that your mind generates based on past experiences, say like traumatic things that like greatly embarrass you, or even a friend, just somebody's getting embarrassed by something here and you witnessed it and it kind of affected you and you don't want that same thing to happen to you, and that causes you to be afraid of something that happens in the future, which is fear. You're afraid of something that might happen, but it hasn't happened, for one, and there's no reason to really be afraid of it because it's not here and it hasn't happened yet. So I wanted to give an example of exactly how fear has affected me and why I haven't recorded like this before. So there's a lot of things that have improved. The camera quality, the lighting, the microphone, and I'm even editing this stuff on my computer. And the background might seem a little better too. But basically the only thing that's changed is I moved into a different room in my house. I've had this mic and I've been recording with this mic for well over a year, and I use this phone to record all my vlogs. The only difference is I turned it around and I'm using the back-facing camera, and I have a mirror that is showing me the preview so I can make sure I'm in frame. And this computer, we've had this computer for years too. Now this isn't like the most high quality computer ever, but it will get the job done. So why haven't I been using this room and all my equipment instead of recording in my room like I did 8 months ago? And even when I came back to the channel initially, I was still using this phone by itself in that room and didn't edit anything on the computer. So fear, oddly enough, as you might guess, was exactly why I didn't. And it was more of a fear of people hearing my voice, because there's no door on this room. So whenever I record, my voice is heard. Everybody in the house can hear me, and I kind of have to tell everybody, hey, I'm recording, don't make any like super loud sounds or anything. And I mean, I can edit out like background noise like the TV, but I can't edit out like a loud sound that is going to be really noticeable unless like I recut the video, which I'm not really wanting to have to do. So it's easier to just tell everybody, hey, chill out, don't scream at each other or anything. And in my room I do have a door, so I'm kind of like more enclosed, and you guys might notice in this video I'm actually talking a bit louder and whatnot as well. And that's again because of that fear that I talked so quiet beforehand, and this has been an issue in all of my videos pretty much since I started making them, whether it be on this channel or my gaming channel. Although on this channel I kind of got over it, and in my coming back videos I really realized how new all of this was to me again, and it was kind of just a crazy thing to be back, and I'm so happy though. I mean, I never realized like how much I really missed it until I came back. But anyway, back on topic here. The moving into this room and getting over the fear of basically having people hear my voice comes into kind of this 4-step process that I kind of just made up as I've been moving along here. And the first step of this process would be identifying the fear. So realizing that it's even something you're afraid of. So for me, I was just in the shower and I realized, hey, why don't I record in the other room? Like, why haven't I done that? And I was like, oh yeah, because there's no door and everybody can hear me. So I was like, well, why am I afraid of that, right? So, and then the next step is to identify like where that came from. So that came from a place when I was moving around. I used to be really expressive all the time, and I used to like always be trying to make people laugh. And I did something in a class and that was really dramatic. I mean, it was kind of like acted out, and nobody laughed at it. And I mean, there was like a classroom of people standing around me when I did this. So when no one laughed, I felt like insanely embarrassed, and I was just like, oh, like, oh no. So I felt really bad, and that caused me to have this fear of doing that in the future. And I've also, in this case, I'm wanting to share kind of like a teaching method to help you guys or not a teaching method, but a method of getting rid of fear. And I'm teaching to you guys. And previously, I have taught people things and had a negative response, which also generates more fear. Now, after I realized this fear and I found this cause, there's the third step, and this is the one where you really start to make a difference. And that's asking yourself questions that kind of cut this fear down at its roots. For me, I was just asking myself, like, why am I afraid to record in that room? Like, why don't I want people to hear my voice? And then I was like, I'm making videos to basically share my voice and my knowledge with the world through the internet. And for whatever reason, I'm scared of a couple people in my house hearing my voice. And I mean, just saying it makes me just feel like, wow, that's so stupid, but it's a good way to just cut it down and make it really seem a lot smaller than it is. Or than you've made it in your head, because it's actually that small. It's smaller than that even. It's not even a real thing. It's just made up in your head. So this is basically the first step of getting rid of the fear. Now, I did this quite a few days ago. I've been actually dealing with a lot of hassle trying to get my editing softwares together, because I came back and I was actually borrowing editing software from my friend and all that. So this has been getting everything together and ready for this video. That way it turns out the way I want it to. And the final step of the process is what I'm doing now, and that's facing the fear and recording this video right now. So I'm finally implementing the last step, but it's not near as hard as if I just skipped to the last step and tried to face my fear without at first crippling this fear at its roots. So that's why I feel like this 4-step process is really useful. It really just gets everything out there and makes it a lot easier for you to move on from it. So going over the 4 steps real quick. The first one is identify the fear. Make sure you know it's a thing, because it's something you manifested into your mind. Second step, make sure you find the root of this fear, what's causing you to have the fear to begin with. Third step, question this fear. Find questions that will dissolve the fear into a way smaller thing than it is already. And the fourth and final step, face your fear, go against it, do what you want to do anyway, even if the fear is somewhat preventing you. Just do it anyway and just say, just go and do it. And after doing that, the fear should be completely gone, to be honest with you. I mean, you might get kind of like nervous. I mean, for me, making these videos, it makes me kind of nervous when I'm first getting into them. But there's other methods of dealing with that, such as like, doing a short little meditation beforehand or something like that. But the fear of making the video, generally, the fear is only there until you're actually facing it, because it is just an illusion. So after you finally face it, you realize how fake it is, and it's super easy. So those are the 4 steps, guys, to getting rid of fear, and my little gallivant of how to get rid of it myself. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please leave a like. It really helps spread the channel and get the the word out of this kind of stuff. If this video helps you, then I'm sure it could help anybody else. So liking it will help, get it around so people can be helped by it. And you guys can leave a comment if you have any kind of questions. Subscribe if you want to see more of these weekly videos. I'm probably going to upload videos every once in a while sporadically too, but the weekly ones are going to be the consistent, show kind of deal things I'm going to have going on. So anyway, guys, thanks again. Have a fantastic day. I hope everything is going great in your guys' life. And much love to you. I'll talk to you in the next video.